welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to be filming my most surprising books of 2020. Books are either on here because the ending really surprised me in the best way possible, or I read these books not expecting much from them, but they surprised me that I loved them, or that I liked them a lot more than I thought I would. So these will not include any of my best or worst books of this year. I have 11. I didn't realize that, but we're gonna go with it. 11 is The Silent Patient by Alex Michaelis. This was so shocking because of the ending, and because I wasn't expecting much. I thought that it would be overly hyped, and so I'm like, oh, I'm gonna hate this book. I stayed up all night to finish this book, and I adore my sleep, so I never stay up all night for a book. Actually, I just don't stay up all night at all, ever. But I could not put this book down, and then the ending just like shocked me to my core. And I was reading reviews on Goodreads, and a lot of people said that they could guess what was happening before it happened, but I couldn't. It shocked me, and I loved it. Number 10 is one that I just read. So this is 19 Minutes by Jodi Picoult. This is about a school shooting, but what you think you know about the school shooter is completely wrong. Jodi Picoult threw in this plot twist that I did not see coming. And it just like was unfreaking believable. Number 9 is a book that I didn't think I would love as much as I did, and that's Bossy Pants by Tina Fey. So I hate reading about celebrities. I especially don't read biographies of any sort, but especially of celebrities. But I listened to Bossy Pants on audiobook, and I was pleasantly surprised about this book, because Tina Fey doesn't just talk about fame and about working at The Office. On The Office? Is it The Office? No, Parks and Rec. I don't even know. Whatever show she works on. But she also talks about just human problems, or women problems, like being a woman, how my self-confidence changes from every single day. Like today, I felt at the top of my game, and I felt very confident in my abilities at my job and talking to the camera today. But tomorrow I might be a mess. I might be like, oh, I'm not confident at all. And she talks about our self-image image and our self-worth, and about confidence problems and things that don't relate to being famous, that are just human problems. This is The Wives by Tarryn Fisher. The ending of this one is why it's on here, because I didn't see it coming. And yet again, when I went to read reviews, everyone said that they saw it coming. I'm wondering if they just read it and then they're like, oh, I should have saw that coming, so then they say that they did even though they didn't. Because I definitely did not see this ending. You follow Wednesday, who has an arrangement with her husband that he is married to you, but only on one day of the week, which is Wednesday for her. But he has two other wives. He has Friday and Thursday? Friday and Monday? I don't remember. But he has 3 wives. And then on the weekends, they all share custody of him. So he kind of just goes wherever he wants on the weekends. But, this is about Wednesday finding a text from her husband's other wife on her husband's phone, and it spirals her to investigate what's going on at home, or at her husband's other wife's house. And it was such a good thriller that the ending was just like, what? That is so, oh my gosh. I was shocked. So I read The Chalk Man by C.J. Tudor, and this is a mystery that kind of flashbacks to the 80s when this gang of kids finds a dead body. And now it's present day, and these kids are now older and they have their own kids. And it's just a fun mystery. But this mystery happened in the 80s, so now, years later, now the grown-up boys, so the men, are getting these weird Chalk Man messages on their driveway. Like, when they were kids, they used to draw these stick figures on their driveways to kind of give them hidden messages that their parents wouldn't understand, but they would understand. But now someone is like taunting them with the Chalkman type drawings. Number 6 is My Fake Boyfriend by Lacey Anderson. This one I own on ebook, and actually Michael suggested that I try it because it was when I first discovered the fake dating trope, and I was so just wanting more, and it was so My Fake Boyfriend was so cute. It was just like a feel-good, fluffy, fake romance, because you can't just have fake romance. Eventually it's gonna turn real, right? I say yes. Number 5 is 13 Minutes by Sarah Pinborough. So I could guess who was behind this mystery, because essentially you follow this girl who falls into the ice and she dies for 13 minutes. And it's a mystery of what happened to her. Why was she on the ice? What happened? And I guessed who was behind it pretty early on. So that part wasn't surprising to me. The part that was really surprising was how addictive Sarah Pinborough's writing was, and how much she made me just want to read that book. So now I have more of her books that I would just really love to read. This was such a pleasant surprise. And that is The Help by Kathryn Stockett. So it's kind of like a mystery historical fiction, because you follow this white woman who is trying to get into the writing field, but the only job she can take is as a advice columnist, as a cleaner, but she is a maid. She's never cleaned anything before, so she starts getting advice from a maid on how to write the letters. And so the maid is actually essentially answering the questions, or the letters, for her. And then when she goes back home, she finds out that her maid has gone missing. And it's this big mystery of what happened to her maid, because her maid was more of a mom than her actual mom. And so there was a whole big dynamic going on there, and it was just so addictive. And if you're not a historical fiction reader, kind of like me, try The Help by Kathryn Stockett. It's worth it. It was a historical fiction, but it read more like a contemporary. 3 of most surprising. So I've been obsessed with retellings this year, and there was only one retelling that I actually adored, that I actually liked at all. I think I gave this 5 stars, and it was just surprising that I finally found a retelling that I loved. And that was Hunted by Megan Spooner, which in my opinion is way better than A Curse So Dark and Lonely by Bridget Kemmerer, but it hasn't been getting the recognition that it deserves because it came out around the same time. So Hunted is Beauty and the Beast retelling. On the cover it says Beauty more deadly than the Beast, I believe. But oh my god, I loved that retelling. Number 2, I was surprised. Okay, I was surprised that I like graphic novels in general, but I didn't want to just say graphic novels and hold up all the graphic novels I've read this year. So I wanted to pick one that I really enjoyed, and I actually read 3 times in the same day because it's so short. And that is Gabby and Gator by James Burks. It's just like a really cute story about Gabby and the gator who become best friends. And it's about, at the beginning, it starts with Gator finding this home where he thinks that he has found his forever home, but then people are scared of him because he's a gator, and then his owner's mom makes him throw the gator down the toilet, so he flushes the gator down the toilet, and then the alligator is scared of the ripples in the water or the waves, and so he lives in the sewage system until Gabby comes and rescues him. And it was just like a cute story about being who you are. The gator eats dogs, but it's only because he's hungry and he has to eat something. It's not because he actually wants to eat dogs. It's just that it's all that he knows. And when Gabby rescues him, she teaches him that there's more to life and that he can eat salad and still be a good gator, and it's just so freaking adorable. One most surprising book. I'm gonna let you guys think about that while I take a Dr. Pepper break. It's a recent read from this month. Go back through my vlogs and guess. Most surprising of the entire year is I'm thinking of Ending Things by Ian Reid. This is on here because the plot shocked me. How do I explain this without giving spoilers? Okay, so you follow this woman who is going to her boyfriend's parents' house for the weekend to meet them, but the entire time she's thinking of ending her relationship with her boyfriend. On their way home, they kind of take a side street and they come across this abandoned school, and they pull over to what you presume a couple would do in a car, maybe if you're adventurous. But then he sees someone in the school who is the janitor, who looks like he's looking out the window at the car while you're in the midst of something or about to start something with your significant other. And then, yeah, what would you do if you were in that situation? Would you just drive off, or would you go inside the school and investigate? Exactly. All I can say is you won't see the ending coming. Those were my most surprising books of 2020. Do you agree with my list? Or better yet, do you disagree with my list? Have you read any of these? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to hit that big thumbs up button and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already.